Section 1. The Reign of the Greenback, from Gold Standard to Global Reserve. The US dollar's dominance is a relatively recent phenomenon in the grand tapestry of history, but its impact has been profound and far-reaching. Following the devastation of World War II, the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1944 established a new global monetary order, aiming to bring stability to the international financial system. The agreement pegged the US dollar to gold at a fixed rate, and other currencies were then pegged to the dollar, creating a stable exchange rate system. This system solidified the dollar's position as the world's primary reserve currency, making it the cornerstone of global finance and trade. This arrangement facilitated international trade and investment, ushering in an era of unprecedented economic growth and prosperity across many nations. The stability and reliability of the US dollar became the bedrock of global commerce, enabling countries to engage in international transactions with confidence. However, this golden age of the dollar was not destined to last. Over time, various economic and political factors began to challenge the dollar's supremacy, leading to a gradual decline in its dominance. Today, while the US dollar remains a key player, the global financial landscape is more diverse, with other currencies and economic powers rising to prominence. Section 2. Cracks in the Foundation: The Unraveling of Dollar Dominance. The seeds of the dollar's decline were sown in the very policies that initially propelled its ascent. These policies, while initially beneficial, began to show their flaws over time. As the U.S. engaged in costly overseas ventures like the Vietnam War, its gold reserves dwindled. The financial strain of these conflicts put immense pressure on the nation's economy. This led to concerns about the dollar's ability to maintain its peg to gold. Economists and policymakers began to worry about the long-term stability of the dollar. In 1971, President Richard Nixon took the drastic step of ending the dollar's convertibility to gold. This decision was a turning point in the history of global finance. This marked the end of the Bretton Woods system and ushered in an era of floating exchange rates. The global financial landscape was forever changed. The dollar was no longer anchored to a tangible asset, and its value became subject to the whims of market forces. This new reality introduced a level of volatility and uncertainty that had not been seen before. International trade and currency markets had to adapt to this new system, leading to a more interconnected and complex global economy. The ripple effects of this shift are still felt today. Section 3. The Petrodollar System: A Faustian Bargain. The 1970s witnessed a seismic shift in the global energy landscape. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, flexing its newfound muscle, imposed an oil embargo against the United States. This sent shockwaves through the global economy and underscored the importance of oil as a strategic commodity. In a shrewd geopolitical maneuver, the United States, under the Nixon administration, struck a deal with Saudi Arabia, the de facto leader of OPEC. Saudi Arabia agreed to price its oil exclusively in US dollars, effectively creating the petrodollar system. In exchange, the United States provided military protection and support to Saudi Arabia. Section 4. Quantitative Easing and Its Discontents: Printing Money, Sowing Discord. The global financial crisis of 2008 exposed deep vulnerabilities in the U.S. financial system, and by extension, the global economy. In response to the crisis, the U.S. Federal Reserve embarked on an unprecedented program of quantitative easing, or QE. QE involves a central bank injecting liquidity into money markets by purchasing assets like government bonds. While QE helped avert a complete financial meltdown, it also resulted in a massive expansion of the U.S. money supply. This has led to concerns about inflation, currency devaluation, and the erosion of purchasing power. In this section, titled "The Rise of BRICS: Challenging the Established Order," we explore how the US dollar has encountered significant challenges over the past few decades. A new block of emerging economies has been steadily gaining prominence on the world stage: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, collectively known as BRICS. These countries have been working together to create a more balanced global economic landscape. These nations not only represent a significant portion of the world's population and landmass, but also a substantial part of its economic output. With their vast natural resources, growing industrial bases, and increasing technological advancements, they are becoming key players in the global economy. The BRICS nations have increasingly sought to challenge the existing US-led financial order. They are pushing for reforms in international financial institutions to better reflect the current global economic realities. They have established their own development bank, the New Development Bank, as an alternative to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. This institution aims to support infrastructure and sustainable development projects in BRICS and other emerging economies. Moreover, they have been actively promoting the use of their own currencies in international trade and investment, signaling a significant shift in global economic dynamics. By reducing their reliance on the US dollar, they aim to create a more multipolar world economy, where no single currency dominates the global market. Moving on to a new dawn for emerging economies, de-dollarization and its implications, we delve into the perceived decline of the US dollar, which has accelerated a trend known as de-dollarization. This refers to the process of reducing reliance on the US dollar in international transactions. Several factors are driving this trend, as emerging economies seek to reduce their vulnerability to fluctuations in the US dollar. They are also looking for ways to bypass the US-dominated SWIFT system, which has been used as a tool for imposing financial sanctions. This evolving landscape suggests a significant transformation in how global financial systems operate and interact. Section 7. The Future of Money, Digital Currencies and the Quest for Stability. The rise of digital currencies, particularly central bank digital currencies or CBDCs, adds another layer of complexity to the evolving global monetary order. CBDCs are digital versions of a country's fiat currency, issued and backed by its central bank. Several countries, including China, are already piloting CBDCs. Proponents argue that CBDCs could enhance financial inclusion, reduce transaction costs, and improve the efficiency of monetary policy. However, concerns remain about privacy, security, and the potential for CBDCs to be used for surveillance and control. Section 8. Navigating the transition, uncertainty, volatility, and opportunity. The global monetary system is in a state of flux. The US dollar, while still the dominant reserve currency, faces challenges to its supremacy. The rise of BRICS, the trend of de-dollarization, and the emergence of digital currencies are reshaping the global financial landscape. This period of transition is characterized by uncertainty and volatility. However, it also presents opportunities for investors, businesses, and policymakers who can adapt to the changing dynamics. Section 9. Hedging against uncertainty. Diversification as a safeguard. In an increasingly multipolar world, diversification is paramount. Investors should consider diversifying their portfolios across different asset classes, currencies, and geographies. This can help mitigate risk and enhance returns in an uncertain global environment. Businesses, too, need to adapt their strategies. They should explore opportunities in emerging markets and consider hedging against currency fluctuations. Policymakers face the challenge of navigating a complex and rapidly evolving global financial system today. Section 10. A multipolar world towards a more balanced global economy. The decline of the US dollar's dominance does not necessarily spell doom for the global economy. Instead, it could pave the way for a more multipolar world, where power is more evenly distributed among nations. A multipolar world could lead to greater competition, innovation, and cooperation among nations. It could also reduce the risk of any single country wielding disproportionate influence over the global financial system. The transition may be bumpy, but it holds the promise of a more balanced and resilient global economy.